I do like experimental animation, and this seems to have a bit of a vibe to that. Now, it's actually the last video we're going to be watching that references that element. It's called a hand-drawn world featurette, so I'm anticipating this is going to be, again, a different sort of animation aesthetic, which I have seen projects like this. You know, I love looking at projects that are very diverse in their illustration, because again, you'll find things that just some styles get after a while to be kind of mundane, like, well, you know, we've done this so many times, but then you'll see somebody trying to liven it up and take the animated world in new directions. For example, I've seen this in a documentary world. I think most notably, some of you might be aware of that Loving Vincent project. It's basically a documentary based on Vincent van Gogh, but it was told through hand-drawn paintings. It was incredible. Actually, it was all animated. In fact, they actually did something in the trailer. The movie. I didn't know they were going there, but the movie featured two artists, not just Vincent van Gogh, but I believe it was Gauguin, and they take the art that they're illustrating the movie with and animating, and they mimic it after the style of each artist. It's really incredible. It's a beautiful documentary. I've never seen it. I've seen it twice. It's very good. WOLFWALKERS, again, seems to be trying to do something a little experimental with the animated world. Let's go ahead and take a look. Again, hand-drawn animations. It sounds like an interesting premise. Now, what can we expect from the show from a narrative standpoint? This is what it says according to IMDb. A young apprentice hunter and her father journey to Ireland to help wipe out the last wolf pack. But everything changes when she befriends a free-spirited girl from a mysterious tribe rumored to transform into wolves by night. So, werewolves? Like, female werewolves, I guess? Okay. So, again, maybe it could be based on well-known folklore, I would imagine. Or perhaps maybe, like cultural stories. That could be something because you're traveling to a different country with different groups, I guess. And in this case, the girl in question, who I guess has the ability to transform, it says in the synopsis she's from a mysterious tribe. So I would imagine maybe there's some sort of maybe like a cultural heritage or tradition there. Let's go ahead and take a look. I mean, this could be quite unique. It's similar to other types of shows that I have seen or that I'm aware of, but well, let's see where the animation goes. That could, again, be a very a distinguishing factor to it. I'm sure the story could be quite good. So we're going to watch the first teaser for WOLFWALKERS, and then we'll talk about it more in my condensed series after watching the video together. Okay, without further ado, here we go. Let's take a look. It's an original film, so it's not a series. That's really pretty. You know, it kind of reminds me of shows I used to watch as a kid. Not in a bad way, but well, we'll get to that. I don't mean that in a bad respect at all. I mean it to the project's credit.
You can come out now. You're a wolfwalker.
I do like the style.
A girl in the forest.
It's very pretty.
Who has magic powers. When she sleeps, she turns into a wolf. She's a wolf walker. Something's happened to me. Be a wolf.
That does look interesting. You know, as a kid, I used to watch these shows. Not this, but there was a VHS. It was back in the time of VHS tapes. There was a series that used to be. I think I've talked about this before. I don't remember what project it was. A VHS series. But basically I think it was called Children's Circle or Children's Chorus. I forget the name of it. But what it was doing was it was taking familiar children's books at the time, and it was turning them into like an animated form and retelling the stories. Or perhaps it maybe not necessarily completely animated, but turning it into a televised form that you could watch the stories being told by narrators, people would voice the characters. I remember specifically there were illustrations that, again, are very similar to this. I remember playing out in that show, which, again, it's one thing to hand draw the illustrations for the book, but then you have somebody that's taking those illustrations and animating them. And it did remind me, like watching this, of the appearance. For example, there's a what was the name of the book? I actually looked back up recently because I was like, I talked about that originally. I'm like, I need to reminisce. What was this tape series I used to watch? I didn't remember at the time. As I know, it was like Children's Chorus or Children's Circle. It was something like that. They featured a story. I used to read this one all the time when I was little. It was called Rosie's Walk. And the illustrations here specifically reminded me of that style. I mean, again, it's like basically reading a children's book. It just takes me back right to that experience. Now, this is a new story, but the style is very similar. And it's beautiful to look at. I mean, again, like hand drawings and hand paintings, they're so, I guess, from an artistic perspective, they're very beautiful. And watching a motion version of this, I mean, I wonder how, again, did they have to draw out like by hand every single frame? I don't know. I mean, I would imagine at some capacity you can sort of get the fundamental animated style down and then be able to adapt it, from there, make it move and whatever. It's gonna have the same texture, the same type of techniques applied. Because I would imagine again. Well, some of the drawings, there's a little like in this example where she's laying down. It seems that there's some cross hatching. I don't know. Is that cross hatching? No, because cross hatching would be the X. But again, it's so intrinsic. Well, that one there's not as much crisscross. So again, when you have different designs in motion, that's very different. I would imagine. I'm trying to wonder how that would look in terms of the filming process. I don't know. I mean, if they hand drew it, I would imagine they would literally advertise that in the campaign, or in the ad or the marketing side. Like, look how much we did. Look at the effort we put out. And they don't acknowledge that, so I'm anticipating maybe like a traditional animated model with the base design being hand-drawn illustrations. What are your guys' thoughts with Wolfwalkers? Let me know down below. Don't forget all this stuff. Like and subscribe, and sharing that bell. I have a couple more trailers to watch for it. We'll get a better sense. I mean, that was a very good first introduction. But we'll see where the story goes from here. But until that point, we get to watch more. Thanks for watching this video. I love you guys. Don't forget to love yourselves, fellow man. God bless and peace.